Conquer that dude side, ladies. Let's go. Hello and welcome back. If you're terrified of going to the gym, especially if you go to K-State and the side of the gym where all of the weights are is called the dude side, I have a couple of tips and tricks and suggestions and just like ways to navigate the gym that I want to share with you because I have been frequenting the dude side for approximately 2.5 years and it's time that you did too, sister. Okay, so the first question that I got about exercise and the gym is like, how do you actually use the equipment? And so I think the best way for me to tell you how to figure this out is a lot of the machines have stickers on them, or they'll have little graphics that will show you what the beginning position and the ending position looks like. So a lot of the chest machines or just anything that's like a machine and not a free weight, usually there's a sticker on it. If there's not a sticker, there are a lot of online databases that will show you either videos or written instructions on how to do the exercises. And so I will include links. The one that I have personally used is the one on bodybuilding.com, which separates the muscle movements by muscle groups. So this can also help you put together workouts if you are struggling with that or want to know exercises that target specific muscles. I'm currently using an app called FitBod, which gives a little gif in the corner of an exercise. So if you are confused about how to do the exercise, it shows you a video of it, and there's also written instructions. So that has been very helpful if you do decide to use that app. YouTube also has a lot of great resources. So if you're not sure how to do a Bulgarian split squat, you can YouTube Bulgarian split squat and there will be somebody explaining the form to you. So that is how to figure out how to use the equipment. I can't show you every exercise because I don't have access to that in my kitchen. So, but yeah, check those resources out. There will be links for those databases down below. I will also link the website for the app. Another question I got was, what weight do you start at when you start lifting? This is a really good question because it is very difficult to figure out where to start and what's safe and what's too much and what's too little. I think a really good way to start lifting is just to get in there and figure out your form. So if you're still struggling on how to use machines, I would go in with a broad understanding of how to use the machine and start at a really lightweight and like work on your form and figure out like what muscles are working, how can I do this better, is my form right? So the first time you go to the gym will be an experiment on your form. That will also give you a really good idea of what your muscles can stand and what they can't stand. So if you're incredibly sore the next day, you know that that was kind of a challenging weight for you just starting. Even though you might be very capable of the weight, you might get very sore. And if you have things to do, like you need to write with your hands in the next couple of days, it might be smart to start lighter and work on your form, because if you build muscle on top of bad form, you're going to have a lot of imbalances, and that's just going to lead to problems down the road. So I would focus on your form. My personal suggestion is based on the principle of progressive overload, which I will include a link to an article and a video down below. But progressive overload is basically a principle that suggests that if you want to get stronger, or if you want to build muscle, or if you want to improve as an athlete, you should be increasing either the volume, the intensity, or the frequency of your exercise each time you do it to improve on that exercise. And what that means is if you go to the gym for the first time and you do 10 reps at 50 pounds, the next time you go to the gym, you should either up your volume, which would be like 11 reps at 50 pounds, or you can drop reps and do more weight. That increases your total volume lifted. Increasing the frequency would be taking shorter breaks in between your sets. And then what else is there? The intensity, increasing the intensity would mean just lifting the weight faster. So that is the principle of progressive overload. When you start, that's a good starting spot, and then how to improve from that is using the principle of progressive overload and increasing the weight as you go. You will figure out what's comfortable and what's challenging for you as you go along. If you are looking for like an actual suggestion and not just a general overview, there are 3 accepted rep ranges for different goals. And so there is like a strength building, which is 1 to 5. So I'll do a bench set of like 4 by 3. Well, I'll do 4 sets of 3 reps at bench. So that is a strength training. There's muscle building, which I will just give you this piece of advice that if you're a woman and you're just starting lifting, It's okay. You're not gonna get huge. You're not gonna get manly. I've been lifting since I was in 7th grade. I'm a junior in college. I'm not huge. I've been trying so hard. So you're not gonna immediately surpass the people who have been lifting for 10 years by going to the gym a couple times. So don't be afraid to lift weights. If you notice that your physique is not the way you want it, you can back off of the weights. You can do more cardio. Like, it's up to you, but you ultimately are in charge of the way your body looks. So if you do decide that building muscle is not the way you want to look after you've started it, that's super fine, and that's your personal preference. But just as a disclaimer, you're not going to get huge by lifting weights. So you might just get curvy and delicious. Okay, so hypertrophy is the muscle building rep range, which is anywhere from about 8 to 12 or 8 to 15, depending on your philosophy. So that would be like if you were doing sets of 10, so like 4 sets of 10 of something, that would be more of like a muscle building rep range. And then the other one is going to be your endurance rep range, which is anywhere over 15 reps, and that is going to make your muscles more resilient to enduring stress, so they won't get as fatigued under stress. This can help you in the strength training and the hypertrophy training. I will cycle through these rep ranges, so there will be a couple of weeks where I will do endurance, and then I'll switch to hypertrophy, and then I'll switch to strength training, and I'll work through that. And as I'm doing that, I'm keeping this idea of the principle of progressive overload in my head, and that's just helping me become this like well-rounded athlete. So if you're just starting, I'm not a trainer, I would recommend maybe starting with the hypertrophy stage. So I would start by building muscle. That's gonna be my suggestion. So you would do anywhere from 8 to 12 reps, and I would suggest 3 to 4 sets. This is my experience with trainers that I've worked with in the past, that like about 10, and then 3 to 4 sets of 10 is gonna be a good place to start. As far as deciding what the weight goes, if you are deciding to do like 3 to 4 sets of 10, I would choose something that challenges you a little bit but allows you to finish all of your reps. So you might be struggling on your 10th rep, but you shouldn't not be able to finish. So if you get to rep 8 and you can't finish your sets, I would drop the weight, and that's going to be a good way to figure out what a good starting point for your specific body is. You don't have to start heavy. It's a good idea to work on your form, and the first couple times you go to the gym, that's going to be a really good way to figure out what your starting point is and to figure your form out, and both of those things are super important. So don't feel bad if you're only lifting 2.5 pounds the first time you go, because you have to start somewhere. And I think a lot of people get scared. The people are going to judge them because they're lifting light weights, which like they might, but also we have to keep in mind that you starting your weightlifting journey, it has to start somewhere. You're not going to come in and be repping 225 for bench as a beginner. It's not going to happen like that. The only way to become an intermediate, to become advanced, is to start as a beginner, and it's the bravest thing of you to get in there and start. So don't be ashamed of the weight you're lifting. It's not about that. It's about you being there. Okay, and the third and final question that I received was how the heck to put together a workout. So there are a lot of programs and a lot of apps, but if you yourself want to put together a workout, I have a couple of general guidelines. Again, I'm not a trainer. This is just based on my specific experience as a lifter and based on the programs that I've done. Basically, you want to choose a muscle group to focus your workout on. A split is basically how you divide your week or divide your time of workout into different muscle groups. So my split could be one day I'm going to do my back and my biceps, one day I'm going to do my chest and my triceps, one day I'm going to do my quads and my abs, and then one day I'm going to do my hamstrings and my glutes. That's my specific split, but a lot of people will put legs all on the same day, or they'll do different combinations of those. I will try to put all of this information down below because I'm saying a lot of stuff right now. First decision that you should make is what muscle group you are working. So let's say you decide chest and triceps. The second step to building a good workout is to choose a compound movement to be the core of your workout. So you can choose a compound movement for each muscle group that you choose, and a compound movement is basically a movement that incorporates a lot of different muscle groups. And so some common examples of these would be squat, bench, and deadlift. Those are the ones that I focus on as a power lifter, but there are tons of compound movements, and I will put a link to a Live Strong article with a giant database of compound movements. So if you decide that you're doing your shoulders, then you can find some compound movements for your shoulders. I would choose 1 to 2 of these, so you can do a compound movement for your chest, a compound movement for your triceps, or you can do 2 compound movements for whatever muscle group you're working on. And then after that, you want to choose some accessories or some isolation activities to go along with the muscle groups that your compound movement is either working, or you want to choose muscle groups that are reflecting that muscle group. Does that make sense? For me personally, if I'm doing a chest workout, an accessory to that might be chest flies, or it might be doing a chest press machine instead of doing bench. So that might be an accessory. For triceps accessories, most of the things I do for triceps are accessories. So that would be like rope pull downs or cable press downs or overhead extensions. There's a lot of accessory movements. All of these exercises can probably be found on bodybuilding.com, which I will link down below. Again, still, you can YouTube all of these accessory movements. So that is what I would suggest. You can choose about 2 to 3 of those, 2 to 4, however long you want your workout to be. I usually have like 2 or 3. My workouts are about an hour, and I don't have time for a whole lot longer than that. So to go through that process, choose a muscle group that you're working, choose a compound exercise, choose some accessories. There you have it. Another thing that I would really suggest to beginners and advanced people is stretch your body after you exercise. You do not want to become non-functional. So it's really great that you're able to contract those muscles, but if you're never able to extend them, which is the process of stretching is going to help you extend those muscles back to where they belong. Lengthening and extending those muscles is going to make you a better athlete. It's going to make you move better. Being strong is awesome, but if you can't move in real life, it's not super helpful. So don't forget to stretch, even if you think that stretching is for losers. Like, do it, because you're gonna regret it later. If you would rather somebody else put together a program for you, I have lots of suggestions for that. I started, my very first program was Crush 60 by Crush Fit. There's a super great community surrounding Crush Fit. So if you are looking for some intense beginner weightlifting exercises, this is like, a lot of people get into the best shape of their life with Crush 50. It's also like half the price it was when I bought it. I think it's $45. It's a 60-day exercise program. It shows you how to do all of the exercises. You get access to videos, you get access to a whole bunch of stuff. There's a super cool community. Honestly, I loved it and I got super strong. I was looking great, so I would recommend Crush 60. I've also used a lot of programs from bodybuilding.com. So I've done Triple Threat, I've done Shortcut to Size. I want to try Uplifted by Meg Squats. If you don't know who she is a YouTuber and an Instagram powerlifter and just overall fun and entertaining woman to watch. I know now that they're charging a subscription fee for per month, which I believe is like $7 or $8, but the programs are super worth it. I have loved all of them, so I will link those down below as well. There's a free program by Candito. It's Candito Training. He puts together programs. There's a beginner linear program that you can download, and it comes with pre-formatted Excel sheets for you to keep track of your workouts, so that is super helpful. And then I've wanted to try Anna Victoria's FitBod app, which I believe lots of girls have tried, lots of women and men as well. So if you are interested in that app, I've heard good things about it. I have not personally used it. I am currently using FitBod, which is an app that puts together my workouts. It helps me track my workouts, and it helps me track my progressive overload. It also includes videos and instructions on how to do exercises, because I don't know how to do every exercise, and it's the worst to be like, well, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it, and I don't want to look a fool. So that's what I currently do. There will be a lot of information in the description below, because I just dropped a lot of knowledge bombs on you. If you have any more specific questions about how to get started in the gym, please leave them in the comments below, because I would love to answer them. It is my goal to empower you to do the things that you want to do without feeling embarrassed. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!